Time feels different as you get older. Not faster in the way clocks move, but thinner, compressed, as if entire years pass without leaving much behind. When you are a child, time stretches endlessly. A summer feels like a lifetime. A single afternoon can hold a universe. Waiting feels unbearable because the future feels infinite. But something shifts quietly as you age. Days begin to blur together. Weeks disappear without friction. You look back and struggle to separate one year from the next. People often say it's because life gets busy. Responsibilities pile up. Schedules fill. But that explanation is incomplete. Time doesn't just speed up because you have more to do. It changes because your mind relates to experience differently. When you are young, everything is new. New places, new emotions, new identities. Your brain has to pay attention. It records details intensely. Novelty forces presence. A first day at school feels slow because every sound matters. A childhood trip feels long because nothing is familiar.
Your mind is awake. As you grow older, familiarity takes over. Routines form. Patterns repeat. Days become predictable. The brain becomes efficient. It stops recording details it has seen before. It compresses experience. When less is recorded, less is remembered. When less is remembered, time feels shorter in retrospect. This is one reason years seem to vanish, not because they were empty, but because they were repetitive. The mind does not measure time in hours, it measures time in memory. A year full of novelty feels long. A year full of routine collapses into a blur. But there is something deeper happening beneath this, something quieter, something more uncomfortable. As you get older, you become more self-aware, and self-awareness changes how time feels. Children live inside the present. Adults live inside anticipation and reflection. You are either thinking about what is coming next or replaying what already happened. Very little time is actually lived where it occurs. When the present moment shrinks, time feels thinner. You are technically alive for the hours, but not fully inside them.
There is also loss involved, loss that doesn't announce itself. As you age, possibilities close. Not dramatically, quietly. Certain versions of you are no longer possible. Certain paths fade without ceremony. The future becomes more defined, and with definition comes limitation. When the future feels smaller, time feels faster, because there is less psychological space to project into. This is why milestones feel different later in life. Birthdays stop feeling expansive. They start feeling reflective. You measure time by what didn't happen, by what never came, by what slipped past unnoticed. There is also grief hidden inside accelerated time. Grief for moments you didn't fully inhabit. Grief for years you survived rather than lived. Many adults move through life in a low-grade dissociation, not because of trauma alone, but because constant responsibility pulls attention outward. Bills, expectations, roles. When your attention is fragmented, time fragments with it. There is a reason weekends vanish faster than weekdays, not because they are shorter, but because you are less present in them. Presence slows time. Absence speeds it up. And presence is harder to sustain as you age. There is also the body. The body changes how time is perceived. When you are young, the body recovers quickly. Pain passes. Fatigue resets overnight. As you age, sensations linger. Discomfort stays longer. Energy takes more effort to restore. This subtly alters your relationship with time. You begin to feel it physically. You become aware of limits, of endurance, of mortality. Time stops being abstract. It becomes personal. This awareness adds weight to each passing year. But paradoxically, it also makes them feel shorter, because awareness without presence becomes anxiety, and anxiety accelerates perception. There is also memory distortion. The brain edits the past. Childhood memories feel vivid because they are emotionally charged. Adult memories feel muted because emotions are often suppressed. When emotions are flattened, memory loses texture. When memory loses texture, time loses depth. This is why people say time flies when nothing stands out. Nothing stands out when everything feels managed. Another factor is identity stability. Children are constantly becoming. Adults are maintaining. Becoming creates expansion. Maintaining creates compression. When you are becoming, each year reshapes you. When you are maintaining, years reinforce the same structure. Reinforcement feels faster than transformation. There is also the weight of hindsight. When you are young, you look forward. When you are older, you look back. Looking back condenses time. You see patterns instead of moments. Patterns feel shorter than experiences. There is also a quieter truth most people avoid. As you age, you protect yourself more. You avoid emotional risk. You avoid intensity. You avoid disruption. And intensity is what stretches time. Love slows time. Fear slows time. Grief slows time. But avoidance speeds it up. Many adults unconsciously choose emotional neutrality.
Not because they want to, but because it feels safer. Safety creates predictability. Predictability collapses memory. Collapsed memory feels like accelerated time. This is why a single intense experience can make a year feel longer, and a year of comfort can disappear without trace. There is nothing wrong with comfort, but comfort alone does not anchor time. Anchoring time requires presence. Presence requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is harder as you age because you know what can be lost. There is also cultural pressure. Productivity culture trains people to optimize time. Optimized time is measured, not lived. When every moment has a purpose, moments stop having meaning. Meaning expands time. Purpose compresses it. This is why unstructured moments feel slower. This is why boredom used to stretch forever. Boredom is empty attention. Adults rarely allow empty attention. Phones fill it. Tasks fill it. Noise fill it. Without emptiness, time cannot stretch. There is also the question of mortality. Even when unspoken, it shapes perception. When time feels finite, the mind rushes. It tries to keep up with what is slipping away. Rushing collapses experience. So why does time feel different as you get older? Because novelty fades. Because present shrinks. Because memory compresses.
Because identity stabilizes. Because vulnerability retreats. And because you stop living as if moments are endless. But this is not irreversible, and this is where the story turns. Time does not slow because you are younger. It slows because you are present. Presence is not mindfulness slogans. It is attention without escape. When you fully inhabit a moment, it expands, even now, even later in life. This is why travel can slow time. This is why grief can slow time. This is why falling in love can slow time. Not because they are pleasant, but because they force presence. The question is not how to make time slow again. The question is where you stopped being inside your life, where routine replaced curiosity, where protection replaced intensity, where performance replaced experience. Time feels different as you get older because you change how you live inside it. And the quiet truth is this: time has not abandoned you. You slowly stepped away from it. Not consciously, not intentionally, but through adaptation. And maybe the most radical thing you can do is not chase time, but return to it, by being where you are, by feeling what you feel, by letting moments mark you again. Because time does not slow when life is easy, it slows when life is real, and that choice is still available.